What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We're here, we are back, and we are doing our final. The day of the draft is here. Final official NBA mock is here. Now, the last mock draft, which is yesterday, that was what I predicted the teams to do. This is more so what I would do if I was all 30 GMs drafting in the first round. No trades, just straight picks. If I was picking for every team, who would I pick? This is the last mock draft because the draft is today. It's already noon as I'm recording this video, so we're just gonna put this out and we're gonna hope for the best to see how many of these picks stick, because I really have a lot of thoughts. It's not gonna be the same players or whatnot as yesterday's draft. That was more of a what I would predict each team to do. But again, a lot of these picks will be different because those picks that I made yesterday were not what I would do. Those are what I predicted teams to do. So let's get right into it. Hopefully y'all understand that. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below, man. We're trying to get to 1,000 as soon as possible. We're really close to 300. Let's get those subscribers up, man. Atlanta at 1. I just think that they should just take the best player available. I mean, fits their team as well. I mean, with Trae Young, Alex Sarr, I think is a match made in heaven. Now, I understand that there's reports that he doesn't want to go there. That's completely understandable. They are looking at Donovan Clingan. They're looking at Risa Shea. If I was to kind of predict who it would be, I think it's between Sarr and Risa Shea. I think the Clingan thing is a complete smokescreen. I do not believe that Clingan will be selected number 1. But I think when you have to pick between the two international French prospects, Sarr and Risa Shea, at the top, I would go Sarr by a pretty wide margin as well, because not sure if Risa Shea is number 1 pick material. He's not really my cup of tea when you're talking about a guy that I believe should be a number 1 pick. Sarr is. We're going to take Sarr, not overthink it, take the best player available. At number 2, we have Washington. I don't think they're going to make this pick, but they need a center. And they have the best center or second best center on the board available. Donovan Clingan, welcome to Washington. Again, we're going to fly through these. We're not going to waste too much time. Houston at 3. This has been mocked 1,000 times, and I completely agree with every instance of this being mocked. Reed Shepherd at number 3, I think makes a ton of sense. Fred is probably going to be off the books. I don't think he might have an option at the end of this contract, but he only has 2 years left max. So you can set yourself up with an Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd backcourt. Now, there are reports that Houston wants to go out and trade for Kevin Durant. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but we're just going to grab Reed Shepherd here. Just take the guy that fits your team. San Antonio at 4. My favorite prospect in the entire draft class is Stephon Castle out of UConn. Really smart, cerebral player, big point guard, but can also play on the wing, can cut, can pass. The shot, I buy the shot a lot more than people do, and can defend anybody. So you have a hole at the point guard position. You have Trey Jones. I think Stephon Castle, who's not a point guard by his position at UConn, because Tristan Newton was the point guard there, but he did play point guard in high school. He has point guard skills. We're going to take him at number 4. And at 5, we have Detroit. Risa Shea is still here. He's not my favorite player by any means, and I would have guys like Buzelis and Ron Holland over him. But with the fact that they need some shooting next to Cade Cunningham, and Sarr Thompson is already a guy who's not a non-shooter, we're going to grab Risa Shea at number 5. He's the best, probably not the best, but one of the best shooters in the class. He probably day 1 shoot above 35% from 3. And then Charlotte at 6. I mean, with the Hornets, I'm a huge opponent of taking Rob Dillingham. Now, I don't think they're going to take him. I think they're looking at either Connect, Buzelis, or I think one of those two for sure. I think they're going to take one of these two. One of these two is probably going to end up as a Hornet. But Dillingham fits right next to LaMelo Ball. I think the concerns of his size, I understand them, but I think they're a little overblown, especially when you can play him next to a guy who's a 6'7" point guard. You're not going to have a small backcourt. He can play off the ball. He can play on the ball. Really malleable in the backcourt, Rob Dillingham is. And he is definitely my best player available. Alongside who I'm about to take right now with the Portland Trailblazers, Ron Holland from the G League Ignite. I mean, I'm not sure why this guy has been falling so much, man. I would never understand it. He is incredibly talented. The shot is the only question mark, and I do believe he can improve it. Apart from that, he has everything else. Defensive monster, athletic freak. I mean, he just checks all the boxes of a team that needs a wing. At number 8, this is going to be a little bit of a curveball, but I do like the fit in San Antonio. They worked out against each other. We're going to grab Devin Carter at number 8. You can load up on some guards here. The Devin Carter, Stephon Castle is more of a guard / wing. They complement each other really well. Devin Carter and Stephon Castle do a lot of the opposite type of things. They both are defensive first players though, and that's what Popovich will really like in San Antonio. But we are going to take Devin Carter at number 8 if we are the Spurs. At 9, the Grizzlies are probably in a little bit of a tough spot, and I would probably try to trade out of this pick if I were them because I don't think they need anything else more than a center. But with a lot of these guys still on the board, they could use a connecting piece next to Ja and Jaren and Desmond Bane. Matas is still here. He's the best player on the board for me. I'm not sure how much they believe in Vince Williams as a starting small forward on a championship team. And as much as I love G.G. Jackson, he's more of a 4 to me than a 3. So they still are missing that 3 that can be a connecting piece. Franz Wagner-esque, Andre Karolinko. We're going to go with Matas at number 9. And at number 10, we have the Jazz, and they can get their point guard of the future. They're in no rush to contend or anything like that. They're still a pretty young team. They can grab their PG, move Keontae George over to the 2. It's not a small backcourt because Keontae himself is 6'4", and Topic is about 6'5", 6'6". So you have your backcourt of the future there. Chicago at 11. I've seen reports of Chicago wanting a guard. I don't think they need a guard with Josh Giddey and with it still says Alex Caruso here, but with Josh Giddey and with Kobe White already in the backcourt, I think they should go wing here, especially with the possibility of DeRozan leaving in free agency. They're probably going to trade Zach LaVine. We're going to go ahead and take Cody Williams, who can be a versatile 2, 3, 4 for them. More of a 3 though. And at 12 with the Thunder, one of the reasons that they lost to the Mavericks in the conference finals, the second round, was because of the fact that Josh Giddey was being dared to shoot every time. You don't have to worry about that when you have Dalton Connect, who can play next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and who can be a guy who can be a winning player right now. Sacramento at 13, they would love a guy who can just be another connecting piece next to Fox, Sabonis, just re-sign Monk. Tristan Da Silva is that guy. He's a super, super high IQ winning player, veteran, can fit their timeline. We're going to go with him at 13. And with 14, with Portland, took Ron Holland at 7. You can take another upside swing at 14. Tejan Salon is probably the most a player with the probably not the most upside, but he's definitely a guy who's more of a project pick than anybody else in this class. So we're going to take him at 14. They can develop him there and have their front court of the future set up. And then at 15 with the Heat, I'm going to take one of my favorite players in the class, top 3 favorites for me, Bub Carrington at 15. I think he fits what we need as well. So we're going to take him at 15, a guy who can just flat out score the ball. At 16, you have Philadelphia. There's a lot of ways you could go if you're Philly here. You definitely need some shooting next to Tyrese Maxey. So we're just going to grab Jared McCain at number 16 here. We're just going to take him at 16. At 17 with the Lakers. You could go with the guard, but I also do think there has to be a question mark as to whether Anthony Davis is going to be the 4 or the 5. I'm going to grab a guy who can play next to AD theoretically in the future. We're going to grab Khalil Ware at 17. He projects to shoot the ball pretty well, but it can also be a lob threat and can be a rim protector. AD can be more of a switchable defender for them. Just grab JJ Redick. Maybe he likes Khalil Ware. I'm not sure, but we move on to Orlando. I cannot see Jacoby Walter keep falling. It might not be a big position to need here, but he can definitely provide some shooting and scoring, so we're going to grab him at 18. And at 19, Toronto's going to select the Toronto kid, Zach Edey. Well, I'm not sure if he's from Toronto, but he's from Canada. Zach Edey fits a need. They need a big. Probably going to move on from Jakob Poeltl pretty soon. Zach Edey at number 19. At number 20, a lot of avenues that Cleveland can go with, but I'm going to have him take Tyler Smith at the Ignite. Can be a guy who can shoot the ball, PJ Washington-esque player, can slide in as a wing/forward for them for the future. And then you have Pelicans at 21. Again, cannot continue to see Isaiah Collier slipping, so we're going to grab him at 21. We're going to grab him at 20. We're going to grab Isaiah Collier at 21. He's easily the best player on the board for me. And then with Phoenix, who are apparently rumored to do something with Kevin Durant, I'm not sure of how realistic that is, but we're just going to go out and take Yves Missi. We're going to take Yves Missy. I think Yusuf Nurkic can be expendable right now, so we're going to take Yves Missy. And at number 23 with Milwaukee, they can go a lot of directions here. I mean, I think they need some shooting. They need some people to replace. Malik Beasley's probably out the door. Same with Pat Connaughton. I'm gonna take Johnny Furphy at 23. Can play alongside Dame in the backcourt. And at 24, New York just made a big trade. Now they're probably gonna lose Isaiah Hartenstein, so I'm just gonna go ahead and right now and just take Deron Holmes. Deron Holmes at number 24, and at number 25, which I think they'll probably trade one of these picks. But if they keep it, I'll go with Jalen Tyson. He's a Thibodeau guy, can play really hard. We're going to take Jalen Tyson at 25. At 26, the Wizards took Donovan Clingan at 2, so they don't need a center anymore. Keyshawn George can play point guard. He can play off guard. He can play with the ball in his hands, without the ball in his hands. Very raw upside pick here. We're going to take him at number 26. At 27 with Minnesota, I think they could definitely use a veteran backup PG. Mike Conley's getting a little old. We're going to take Tyler Kolek, and we're going to have him be a backup for now, but maybe groom him into a starting PG. At 28, the Nuggets are here. Now, apparently they were the team who promised Deron Holmes, but he's not on the board anymore, so we're going to grab probably, I'm trying to see if I want to take anybody else, but yeah, we're probably going to grab, I'm not sure if Kyle Filipowski is the guy. We're going to take Terrence Shannon. We're going to take my Illini, man. We're going to take Terrence Shannon. Love Terrence Shannon. I mean, he's an absolute stud. Somebody who's watched him every game for the past 2 seasons. Terrence Shannon is an absolute stud. Whoever takes him will have a steal. At 29, Utah again. Upside. Grab my boy Pacome Dadier from France. Another project pick for them, but they can afford to develop. And then at number 30 with the Boston Celtics, we'll take Kyle Filipowski. Al Horford's getting up there in age. We'll take Kyle Filipowski. And that's our final mock draft, man. That's our final first round mock draft. We flew through it a little bit. We didn't spend as much time on every pick because I didn't want to make it a super long video. I just wanted to make it short and concise so you guys can just get to your favorite team or watch this whole video, even if you just care about your favorite team, because the whole video won't be that long. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below, and let me know what you guys would do if you guys the GMs of your favorite teams, man. We're gonna sign off, man. Peace.